Okay, well, here goes nothing. Whew. It's been a minute, guys. I've got a new setup going on, and I can't stop smiling. It is good to be back. It's been a minute. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to this new series. I don't know what it's called yet. This is the first episode. I needed to break the habit of not filming videos, and so I just did this one. I just forced myself to start, because if I didn't start, I was going to always keep coming up with new things or postponing it because I hadn't quite thought through something else. Needless to say, welcome to the new series that I'm probably gonna call something like the Cancun Chronicles, unless I can come up with something less cringy to say. I recently went on a trip with my family to Cancun, Mexico for 1 week, and I took my Intrepid 4x5 large format camera along with about 20 sheets of film. I think I ended up exposing 12 of them, and in this series I'd like to go through each of them and talk about them. Now this first one is going to be a little bit different than the ones to come in the future, and that's because I just needed to film this video, and also because before I left I specifically went and purchased a box of Ectar 100 because I knew those saturated colors would look awesome down there in Mexico where I was going specifically. And I actually did have one photo in mind that I will get to, the lighthouse. I was so excited for that photo, and I knew it would look great on Ectar, and that's one thing that does set this first picture aside from the future ones to come, and that's that I didn't shoot this one on Ectar. This first image was exposed on Portra 400. Because I already had a box, so I ended up bringing that with me, but also because it is so dark in this scene, that 2 extra stops did end up saving me quite a bit of time, so let's dive right into this photo. Honestly, not a bad way to kick things off. This image was made the night we got to Cancun. We had just gotten to the resort around 6 o'clock and the sun had already set. So we got in, we got unpacked and started getting situated. I looked out our back balcony window and I saw this view. So actually, like I said a little bit earlier, this video is different from the ones to come. And another reason for that is that I actually did record some video there as I was doing the exposure. So without further ado, we're gonna cut to past me that is a little less tan and a little bit jet lagged. How's it going, guys? I don't know how the audio is right now. I am just setting up. I actually just finished shooting my first shot on this Mexico trip. It's a shot of this Portra 400. 1 minute exposure, but with reciprocity, it ended up being 3 minutes and 47 seconds. I hope it turned out. Could be great. So I actually ended up metering for this scene earlier by taking a digital exposure first. And then I was able to set up my Intrepid and take the large format shot. So this was shot on Portra 400 at f11, and that ended up being a 1 minute exposure. But reciprocity did end up having a huge factor in the final exposure, and it took that 1 minute exposure time and pushed it all the way to 3 minutes and 47 seconds. Now personally, for me, in this situation specifically, it was easier to just take out my digital camera and take an exposure to base my settings off of. Because I only have an incident meter and not a spot meter, so it makes it, in a contrasty scene like this, really hard to dial in your exposure for your highlights versus your shadows, which were complete darkness. And I did have my digital camera there, so I flipped it up, dialed in an exposure I was happy with, and then calculated reciprocity. So that will bring us to a close on this first episode as I'm going through these photos that I was able to capture and make in Mexico on my trip with my family. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought, and stay tuned for future episodes because the photos only get more exciting. So until the next one, we'll see you later. Oh.